Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Star Wars Vintage Collection, Grand Moff Tarkin. Though he only really appeared in Episode 4, and a brief appearance in Episode 3, I suppose, Grand Moff Tarkin is still one of those fan-favorite characters, and he is always highly requested in action figure form. So it's only natural that we get a version of Grand Moff Tarkin released in the Vintage Collection. Is he the definitive version of the character in action figure form? Well, let's find out. Grand Moff Tarkin comes on that beautiful vintage-style Star Wars cardback that is very reminiscent of the Star Wars packaging from back in the Kenner days. The back of that package also is reminiscent of the vintage days, giving us a look at all of the other figures included in this wave, as well as some images of some of the vehicles available. Alright, so let's take a look at Grand Moff Tarkin outside of the packaging. I will say that the likeness of the figure is decent to actor Peter Cushing, but I don't think it's perfect. Taking a look at it up close, you can see it does have a lot of the elements of the actor, such as the very high cheekbones and the like. The hair is mostly painted a very light gray with a very light brushing of browns over the top of that. And while it's a pretty good face sculpt, it doesn't seem to perfectly capture the look of the actor, but I definitely think it's passable. He sports the military green uniform with the rank badge on his left breast. And the lower portion of it is made of that softer cloth rather than plastic. I always feel like that looks a little out of place on some of these guys. Now, I understand that that's going to help with the posability of the figure and is pretty good for helping him be able to sit down in vehicles and the like, but I do feel that the colors are slightly off, and I kind of prefer the plastic, so I wish it was plastic instead of the cloth on this particular figure. But that seems to be the norm for a lot of these figures, and I do understand there are folks out there who prefer the cloth over the plastic, so I guess this is just one of those preference things. Is your personal taste for the cloth or for the plastic? Now, as far as the articulation goes on the figure, it's pretty good. The head is on a ball joint there, so it can kind of rotate all the way around and turn left and right. You have hinge joints at the shoulders, allowing for a swivel and up and down movement, a swivel right above the elbow as well as an elbow bend, a swivel at the wrist. You have a waist twist there. You have some pretty good joints at the thighs, allowing for good forward and backward movement. You can slightly move them outwards. You've got a swivel right above the knee, as well as a knee bend, swivel at the ankle, as well as an ankle bend. So it's a pretty wide range of motion for a little 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figure. Now, as far as his accessories go, Grand Moff Tarkin does include one blaster. He does have his right hand sculpted with a trigger finger, so it fits the best in his right hand. He can hold it in his left as well, but he's got a pointing finger with that, so it doesn't quite grasp the trigger like the right hand does. As an additional accessory, he also includes one of the cool little mouse droids that we see running around on the Death Star. This is a really nice version of this because it's actually got some real wheels on there, so he can really roll around. I know there have been previous versions of the mouse droid in the past that's just a solid hunk of plastic, so this one's actually got the ability to roll around, which is kind of neat. Now, unfortunately, there are no figure stands included. I really wish these were still including figure stands, as I've always felt that those are essential for Star Wars characters. Maybe that's not everybody's opinion, but I have always felt that Star Wars figures just stand a lot better when they've got figure stands, so I am sad to see that those are no longer included. Overall, I would say that this is a very nice action figure, and he's sure to be sought out from the fans. While the likeness isn't perfect, this is still a pretty great action figure all around, and will probably become the definitive Grand Moff Tarkin figure in the displays of most collectors out there. So this new wave of Star Wars vintage figures should start hitting stores now, but if you don't want to do any hunting, you should check out the wide selection of Star Wars action figures over at www.pastgenerationtoys.com. Until next time.